Have you got GCSE or A-level exams in a month or less and still haven't started revision? And are you wondering if it's too late to start revising? Well, I have the answer for you, and that is what I'm going to be going through in this video, as well as top tips for you to get all A stars and 9s at GCSE and A-level. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already down here and turn on post notifications. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So if you haven't already noticed, then I am actually back home, as you can see by my surrounding, and that is because it is now the Easter holiday. So I'm back from university. However, 1 year ago at this exact point, I started the Easter holiday in year 13. So I was 1 month away from my A-level exams, and a couple of years before that, I was doing my GCSE exams, and I was thinking, right, not long left till exams now. Is it too late to start revising properly? And have I screwed myself by not revising enough? Have I revised enough? I don't know. And let me tell you right now, it is not too late to start revising. Whilst you should tell yourself it's never too late to start revising, it kind of is. However, right now, it is not too late to start revising. And I personally could have used Easter more effectively to get better grades at A-level. However, I didn't, and so I ended up with a BB. However, those grades were something that I was happy with because they got me into the University of Nottingham to study management, and that is what I wanted to do. You might be wondering at this point how much you should be revising, and I would advise minimum of 3 hours a day, and that is across all of your subjects. The reason being is because from May, the start of May, so we've got a few weeks till that, because we are recording this video on the 13th of April, that is when you're going to really crank it up to minimum, I'd say 5 hours a day of revision. And you won't be revising everything. I advise that you revise in terms of priority as to what you don't know, as well as what exams you have the soonest. Combine it like that, but I'm going to be discussing that in a different video. Having got that out of the way, I'm going to go into my top tips to get A star and 9s at GCSE and A-level, and my first tip is to go through the specification and make a checklist using the specification of red, amber and green. The specification usually lists each unit as well as different topics within those units, and therefore you can use that as a checklist. By highlighting in different colours, you can tell yourself what you already know, what you kind of know, and what you really don't know. And based on that, you can create a revision timetable and really get in the revision that you need for those red topics and save the green topics till last. After all, there's no point of going through an entire subject but going through green topics when you're against time and may not be able to cover the red topics in time. That is why, at this point, I would say your focus is to focus on your weaker topics and subjects, and then go into your stronger topics and subjects. After all, we are in the Easter holiday, so there is no guarantee that you're going to be able to get through everything in the next 2 months. My next tip is to start doing past paper questions. Note how I say past paper questions and not past papers. The reason being is because I personally would save past papers until either the end of April or the start of May. Past papers are something that can be done over and over again, but at the same time, they're one of the most useful resources that you can use to get the top grades. And therefore, I like to save them towards closer to the exam time, because by focusing on specific questions, you can focus on specific topics, and those topics can be ones that you highlighted as red in the specification. For example, in a past paper, Dolly the sheep may come up, and in that question, it may mention cell cloning. Whilst Dolly the sheep isn't a topic, cell cloning is. And that is a topic that will come up every year, but in different forms, whether it mentions Dolly the sheep or whether it mentions some other sheep or just cell cloning in general. Let's say for instance we highlight this as a red topic in the specification. We can then go through past papers and find an individual question on this topic and answer that without having to go through an entire past paper. The reason that this is also good is because I know some teachers won't actually stop teaching until the very last day of school, which is crazy, I know. So even though we are in the Easter holiday now, you may not know everything just yet. So therefore it's good to just go through past papers and pick out specific questions that you'd like to attempt, and if you get them wrong, then try it again later, or identify what you got wrong and learn that. And then when you feel confident on a level where you kind of basically get good grades on the questions that you have picked out, that's when you can attempt an entire past paper and see if you can manage time and the pressure. My next tip builds on from that tip, and it's to focus on longer answer questions. Especially in A-level, longer answer questions are vital because you pick up on AO3 marks, and AO3 marks are essentially your evaluation marks, and exam technique is vital. Because if you don't pick up your AO3 marks, then you will not get good grades. It really is as simple as that. So in a subject like business, where in paper 3 it's literally just essay questions, you go like your 16 markers, your 20 markers, your 24 or 25 markers. That is why where you will need to focus on exam technique and ensure that not only do you know the knowledge, but you know how to put it down on the paper to pick up the key evaluation marks. I am going to be making another video on A-level business revision, so if you want to check that out, then make sure you are subscribed and do turn the post notifications on. Tip number 4 is to read through the notes that you have already and to watch videos around your subjects to build upon your general knowledge. Of course, if you read through textbooks, notes, or just watch videos, you are not going to be ready for exams if you are doing just that. However, you can pick up bits and bobs in your memory and it will help build up your general knowledge. So let's say you come to a short answer question where it's literally you answer like one sentence or one word, or it's a multiple choice question. Let's say it comes up and you might be thinking, oh, I remember just this one sentence from a textbook that I read. Then that is a situation where doing this type of revision will come in handy. However, again, I must emphasize that literally just sitting down and reading through material will not prepare you properly for the exam, because it will definitely not prepare you for those longer answer questions that I mentioned before. However, it is definitely useful for, say, multiple choice questions, which you have in A-level business, for example, and I know you have it in, I believe, science subjects and other subjects too. Last but not least, it's not really a tip, but I'm going to say, because there is 2 months or less until your exams are finished, it is definitely too late, unless you are literally a workaholic, to actually make full notes on all of your topics in all of your subjects. I wasn't the most perfect student. In fact, I was nowhere near perfect. After all, I did only achieve ABB. If I was the perfect student, maybe I could have achieved AAA or A-star AA. Who knows? And I probably could have got all A-stars at GCSE. Who knows? However, I'm learning from my mistakes, so I'm going to tell you now, look, I didn't have all the notes done, but I didn't have literally no notes. So what I did was I just filled gaps. So obviously, some things I didn't really have notes on, but that's because I already knew it. Some things I didn't have notes on because I got lazy. So if I didn't have notes on something and I got lazy and I didn't know it, then I'd go through a textbook or go through a video and then literally make one pager of bullet point notes to summarize that topic. This could be either on a Word document where you have more space, or it could be on a flashcard where notes will be even more condensed. I would highly advise that you make bullet point answers to questions and topics that you're unfamiliar on. So for example, like I said before, let's say Dolly Sheep, there's a question on Dolly Sheep and it was about cell cloning, then make bullet points on any question that could ask you about cell cloning, or just make bullet points on sale clothing as a whole topic. You can do it however you want to, but as long as you get the knowledge down and you go over it and again and again and again and again until it's in your head, then that will be fine. And there we go. The verdict, it's not too late to start revising. However, start as soon as you can. And if you haven't started already and you're watching this video, click off this video and start right now. I hope this video has been helpful. I am going to be pushing out more revision focused videos in this Easter holiday. However, you do have to know that I have my own university exams to prepare for as well. So I'll also be doing vlogs and videos around that. However, I will be focusing content on both GCSEs and A-levels for you guys out there. Make sure to check out my playlist on both A-levels and GCSEs in the corner right there. I do have other revision videos, whether it be from last year or this year. All the videos will still be helpful to you. So this isn't the only video that you can watch. You can go watch the other ones as well. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like, comment below and subscribe. Follow me on social media. That's at Mahel Khan on Instagram, at Mahel X on Twitter, and official Mahel Khan on Facebook. Let me know what other videos you want to see in the comments below. Let me know if I've been helpful as well. You can always contact me via social media as long as you are following me. I always get back to followers. And this has been Mahel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.